Then we see Pike. He wrote about the glorious light that all Masons seek is the knowledge of who God is, for they believe it's Lucifer. And then we see on the same page, the glorious light that all Masons seek is the knowledge of who God is, for they believe Lucifer is the real God of the universe. And that's mind-blowing to me, that people actually think this. Just growing up where I've grown up, there's people that, they totally abandoned Christ. And I think the reason is because a lot of times they're in these bloodlines, they don't have a choice. That's just how they were raised, and they want the power. So just very power hungry. So page 31, we go on.
I think we're on page 131, if anyone's wanting to look it up.
131, that's good, yes. So the Freemasons and all their associated organizations believe the real God of the universe is Lucifer. So I'm pretty sure we nailed that one down right there. In page 131, it says again, it's certainly witnessed by the Freemasons, the New Age movement, and particularly the organization at the center of Freemasonry. Now we can talk about, and I'm pretty sure this is the realm of the Nephilim here. It's going to be page 159. There are branch secret societies like Freemasons and post-Diluvian sun gods like, I think this is Osiris, were an allegory of Lucifer and Satan. Okay, so we see that, and then that's page 159 of Genesis 6. And then, so that's basically saying, and then so the three great lights of Freemasons are the sun, Osiris, the moon, Isis, and Mercury, and Horus, post-Diluvian offspring gods. Wow. So there's just dropping a lot of knowledge here. Thanks for checking it out. And this is some of the green screens. You can see right here that William Brodie was also the Grand Master of the Masons in New York. So, and he's the one that dedicated the cornerstone and the Statue of Liberty. So these are things, we're just like exposing it. This is wild stuff. And, getting it out there that a lot of these things are nefarious, for sure. Nefarious origins. You can see right here, green screen. It says that William Brodie, the Grand Master of the Masons in New York, laid the cornerstone of the statue with a Mason ceremony. So they actually did a ceremony.
So can I talk a little bit about the symbolism for the Statue of Liberty?
Yes, please.
So a lot of people think there is some Luciferian symbolism attached to this huge symbol of America that everyone saw when they came into the port of New York City when people were immigrating to this country. And anyone that comes in knows what the Statue of Liberty means. It means freedom, liberty. So she's been called the light bringer. And this is the name connected to Lucifer. Lucifer literally means light bearer in Latin. So the Statue of Liberty is officially titled Liberty Enlightening the World and holds a torch. We all know about the torch of illumination.
Yes.
Some interpret this bringing of light as symbolic to Lucifer, especially in occultic traditions. And these symbols of light and enlightenment are central both to the Statue of Liberty and other symbolic statues throughout the United States. And you already mentioned the Freemason and occult influence.
Yeah, and this one, that's the one that was in Chicago.
That's right. Yep.
There's another one, and so I don't want to speculate, but that doesn't look like a woman to me.
Yeah, so, some think that these statues are modeled after pagan goddesses like Ishtar, Isis. You mentioned those before. Ishtar was a Babylonian goddess, and Isis was an Egyptian goddess. often associated with the planet Venus, which you also mentioned earlier. And
Yeah.
the 7 rays of her crown showing right now, they're thought by some to represent the 7 rays of the sun, which is another ancient mystical symbol.
Yeah, and just the way that DC is laid out, just speculating, but just the way it's laid out with the streets and everything, it forms like, a triangle, if you want to see that. Look, I found that. So that's the White House, and it goes down. That's going to be the main streets, and it goes to Mount Vernon Square and over here to Washington Circle. So it's just strange to me, and some of the symbols, obviously, some of the different. Okay, so right here we see Lucifer. Yeah, what she just said earlier about the light bearer. There it is at the top, a figure of pride and falling from grace. And then he's also the adversary or the accuser. And we see right here in the book of Genesis that he is a serpent. And then down at the bottom, there's a name for him, the Hebrew name for Lucifer. So we see all that, but yeah, it's just it's very interesting, and we get off into maybe some more stuff. Let's see here. I'm going to read more.